I love testing Canva apps every single week to uncover what's new and exciting. This week, I've found 4 amazing Canva apps that I think you will absolutely love. So let's get started. The first app I'll show you in this video is Blend Image. This app makes it super easy to blend 2 images together in just a few clicks. To demonstrate, I'll use an example of a movie poster. I want to add a woman's face in the background to give it the vibe of a villain from an action drama movie. Before diving into the app, I'll quickly add the woman's face on top of this image. First, I'll remove the background and reposition the image a little. Alright, now I'm ready to use the app. I'll go to the Apps tab, search for Blend Image and click on it. Here's how it works. First, I need to select the bottom layer image. I can either upload a file from my computer or select an image from my design. Since I already have the 2 images I need on my canvas, I'll simply click on the bottom image to set it as the background layer and hit Use Selected Image. As you can see, the preview now displays the image I just selected. Next, I need to choose the top layer image. This will be the image placed on top of the background. Again, I can upload a file or use the image from my design. This time, I'll click on the woman's image and hit Use Selected Image. Now comes the fun part, choosing the blend mode. I'll click on the blend mode menu and a variety of options will appear. The app automatically chose soft light for me, which already looks pretty good in the preview. But let's explore other options to see if we can find something better. Let's try light. Not great, it doesn't look natural and doesn't fit the mood of the poster. Maybe color burn? Oh, this is better, it adds a dramatic vibe, perfect for an action drama theme. I'll keep this in mind as an option. Let's try hard light. Nope, too light for my taste. Exclusion maybe? Not quite. And let's try luminosity. Oh yes, this is it. Luminosity gives the exact vibe I want for the poster. Once I'm happy with the blend, I'll click on Add to Design and the blended image will be added to my canvas. Now I'll delete the woman's image because I don't need it anymore. Then I'll detach the previous image from the background and set the new blended image as the new background. Next, I'll reposition it to align everything properly. Finally, I will delete the background from the original image to isolate the person. Then I'll place the isolated person on top of the new background and adjust it to fit perfectly. And send the layer to the back so it's below the text. And that's it. It's super simple and easy to blend 2 images using this app. Now let's move on to the next app. The next app is one that allows you to add reflections easily and quickly. I want to add a reflection below this car I've added to this background to make the image look a bit more realistic. Let me show you how I do it. I go to Apps, search for Easy Reflections and select this app. What I need to do is select an element in my design. Note that the elements that work here are either an image or a graphic that isn't an SVG, which is a graphic whose color cannot be changed. Once I'm ready, I click Create Reflection and I'll see my car here in the preview. I can choose how I want it to appear. Right now it's set to below, which means the reflection will be positioned underneath. If I don't want it below, I can select above, which changes the lighting on the car a bit. There's also left or right, which position the reflection on the sides, shifting it to the right or left. So let's stick with below for now because that's what I want to add. You can control the offset, which adjusts how far the reflection is from the element, and of course, the opacity. You can also adjust the opacity later after adding the reflection on the design. When you're ready, click Add to Design and the reflection will appear on your canvas. Let me show you what I do after adding the reflection. I enlarge the reflection to match the car's size. Then I will move the reflection in the Layers panel to be underneath the car. You can play with the rotation if needed, maybe move it slightly like this, so it actually touches the car. The next thing I do is go to Edit and apply a blur effect. It looks much better when it's slightly blurred and not too sharp. It gives a more realistic look. You can fine-tune the positioning or rotation if needed. Like this, zoom out a little, adjust it a bit, and there you go. I now have a car reflection that I created in just a few seconds. Now let's move on to the next app. This app allows you to turn your Canva designs into e-invites and collect RSVPs for your event. Let me show you how I do it. After the invitation design is ready, go to Apps, search for CreatEcards, and click on this app. The first thing you will need to do is click on Create New to start creating a new event. Then you will need to click on Sync Design to sync your Canva design into the app. If you have multiple pages in the design, you can sync up to 2 pages at this stage, but if you want to include more than that, I will show you how in just a bit. I only have 1 page in my design, so I will just hit Export. Now I can see the invitation design I just synced here in the preview. I can also style the background and buttons in this invitation and basically everything surrounding the sync design. To do that, I will click on Style e-invite. The first thing to choose here is the background color. I will select the same color as the design's background. I can also choose an image as the background if I want. In the banner section, I can adjust the banner shadow, change the banner text if needed, and add a logo if I have one. Additionally, I can change the banner and button colors. Under Content, you can customize all the remaining elements in your e-invite. Now let's preview the changes. Here I can see everything I've updated in the preview. If you like what you see, click on Looks Good, Continue. In this step, you will have the option to sync all the pages in your design. This is especially useful if you have included video, music, animations, or multi-page transitions like slideshows. Here you can choose whether to add a QR code or a link to your design for RSVP collection. If you're planning to print the invite, you can use the QR code so people can RSVP by scanning it. If you're collecting RSVPs online, you can use the link to share with your guests so they can RSVP digitally. Alright, I will click Continue and proceed to the CreatEcards website to add the event details. Now you will need to sign up for CreatEcards. It's free and you don't need to provide any credit card to use it. You can send out your invitation and start collecting RSVPs at no cost. The free plan allows up to 15 replies, but keep in mind this refers to replies, not the total number of guests. One guest can RSVP for multiple people. Alright, so I will click on Save Design and then name this event. Since I'm creating a wedding invitation, I'll name it Emily and James, the wedding. Then I'll hit Continue. On the left side of the screen, during the entire process, I will see a preview of the invitation I'm creating. The first step is to click on Invitation and then Yes, Create Invitation. Make sure the RSVP collection option is toggled on. Next, I'll add the host names. Then I will choose the country where the event will take place and the event's time zone. Here you can select the type of event. I will choose wedding and I can add sub-events related to the wedding if needed, but I will also choose wedding here. Set the event start date and time, and you can also choose an optional end time. Now you will need to add location details. You can choose in person, online, or choose to not provide any location details at all. I'll select in person. Here you can add the address of the event. I'll copy the address from my invitation and paste it here. If your address isn't in a US format, you can enter it in your preferred format and leave the detailed fields blank. Since I have a US address, it's recommended to use the detailed field below. However, to save time, I'll skip that for now. Next, decide if you want your guests to bring gifts. If you already have a registry, you can include its name and link here. If not, you can create one through Amazon or Babyliss using the provided links. Now set the RSVP settings. Choose whether to collect dietary or allergy information. Indicate if the event is adult only. And specify the maximum number of additional guests each invitee is allowed to bring. For example, the Johnson family will receive my invite and I can specify that I allow them to RSVP for up to 5 guests. Let's continue by clicking Next. In this part, you can choose whether to add meal options. For example, if you will be offering meal choices like beef, chicken, or fish, for example, you can let your guests select their preference in advance while RSVPing. This step is optional, you don't have to include it in your invitation. If something changes, you can delete or update the meal options here. Next, you can add an info block to your invitation, which will appear before the event's time and location details. You can manually type any text into this block. Alternatively, you can use AI to generate the text. Check the box and click Generate. The AI will take all the event details you've entered and create a paragraph summarizing the date, time, location, and other key information. If you like the result, click Add to Invite. If you want to make adjustments, click Quick Edits and select an option like shortening the text, for example. You can also manually edit it after adding it to the invitation. If you decide not to include the info block, simply toggle it off and it won't appear in your invitation. Now let's move on to style customization. As I showed earlier, in Canva, you can customize the background, buttons, and other elements here. You can edit the banner text, choose colors for the buttons and other blocks, and add a logo or wallpaper if you want. Once everything looks good, let's move on to publishing. You can customize the URL for your e-invite. For example, I will change it to Emily and James. Any spaces or commas will automatically turn into dashes. You can also edit the browser tab text if needed. When you're ready, click Publish to save all your changes. Now, when someone visits this link, they will see your invitation and event details, along with an option to RSVP. And just like that, you've turned any Canva design into a fully functional RSVP collector for your event. You can share this information in multiple ways through the CreatEcards website. You can also send it in different languages for non-English speaking guests. Finally, you can manage all RSVP replies through the dashboard. Let me just quickly show it to you. This is the dashboard where all the RSVP information is gathered in one place, allowing you to easily manage your guest list and responses. Alright, now we're ready to move on to the next app. This app allows you to create text animations and add them to your design like I created right here. Let me show you how I do it. I will create a new page, go to Apps, search for Type Motion, and click on this app. The first thing I see in the app is 5 different text animation templates to choose from. Currently, they have only 5 templates, but maybe soon they will add more, so you will have more possibilities. For this example, I'll choose the Pulse template and let me show you how it works. At the top, you will see a preview of the animation we are creating. You can change the text right here. I will write sale for this example, and you will see it in the preview. I can choose to edit the canvas size. If I want it to be smaller, I can control the width and the height. I can also change the font of the text, but just so you know, not all of the font available in Canva will be accessible in this app, only a selection of them. Here you can change the alignment if you have more than one word in a line, and here you can change the text color and the outline color. Let me just change the text color to black as well because I don't want to have an outline, just black text so you will see it clearly in the preview. Below the color options, you will find the motion settings. Each template has different settings because each template has a unique motion. For example, here you can add a twist effect to your text. Let me increase it a little to show you. Now the text is slightly twisted, but let me reset this because it's not what I want for this example. Next, you have the repetition setting, which controls how many times the text will appear in the motion. If I decrease it to only 2, you will see up here that the word sale appears only twice now. I'll set it back to 5 and you will see it returns to the original template setup. The last setting here is duration. This controls how quickly the motion repeats. The shorter the duration, the faster the pulse will be. Let me show you the opposite. If I increase the duration, the pulse will be slower. Now let me reset it to a standard duration. I can preview it for a moment before I add it to my design. When I'm ready, I will click on Add to Design and this motion type will appear on my canvas. If you want to reset the setting and start over, you can click here on Reset Settings. I'm ready now, so I'll hit Add to Design and it will load for a few moments. Then I will see it on my canvas. It will show up here and take a few seconds more to load fully until you will see a message at the top of the screen that the motion type has successfully uploaded the media to your library. Your text motion will also be available in the Uploads tab under the Video section. After I've added the text, I can resize it and reposition it as needed. If you click on the text motion again, you will be able to edit it, make any changes you want, and then click on Update Design and Replace. The updated text motion will appear in place of the previous one. And that's a wrap for this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to discover new 8 text apps in Canva to improve your text designs, you can check out my next video, which is dedicated to Canva text apps. I'll see you there.